Previously, in Adventure Awaits, our band of roving, still newly met adventurers had found their way within the dungeon of a drow army. 4 of these individuals found themselves tortured for information that they couldn't possibly know the answer to. Thankfully, though, Kai and Orsik, with a little bit of help from a random child you picked up along the way, you found your way into this dungeon. Found the orb of some sort, which seemed to be controlling this field that was impairing your mind and your ability to comprehend time and space, and took out a few drow along the way while rescuing your friends. Battered, beaten, and tired from a very, very long day, you found your way to sleep, where the next morning, 2 of you decided to sleep in for a little while the other 4 had a little bit of fun downstairs. Boros went to go wake Mercedes and found an interesting letter left by Arthrid, as Juliet went to go wake Jin for a semi-late start to the day, as afternoon begins to come across the horizon, and the way in is calm at this hour.
Orsik will probably go to that blacksmith and pick up that birdcage that he paid a handsome bit for.
Alrighty.
I would probably follow. She has nothing better to do.
As he's walking towards the blacksmith shop, he kind of peeks inside of his breast pocket. And what exactly is Jigjaw doing right now?
Receded into your chest pockets, kind of just curled up and staying warm for the day. So this is actually Groga's weapons, and it is Groga who runs this.
Groga, okay.
Female half-orc individual. You do hear the familiar tink, tink, tink tools being worked on inside.
Orsik is gonna clasp his hand to the side of the archway, and he's gonna say, "Are you back here?"
Morning. Great to see you again.
Likewise. So, is it ready?
Yes, it is indeed, as she walks over to a small shelf and pulls out this sturdy enough, smooth so there's no rough edges, large enough to have some growing room. As you assume this baby phoenix will probably start to grow quite soon.
Simplistic, functional, it's perfect. Thank you.
Glad I could help.
And he's gonna take the birdcage, kind of like fasten it to the side of his belt, right? That way, that whenever he walks, it's always on like the side of his person. And he's gonna take out Jigjaw, right? And he's gonna say, "Boy, I have a new home for you."
Takes him a minute to kind of get his bearings and figure out what this is for, but he'll kind of ruffle his feathers a little bit and try to curl back up and stay warm inside the cage.
Kai, if you want to look around here, I'd be more than happy to wait.
I could do a quick look, but I think I should be good. I'll just twirl to make it look like I was looking at everything. Okay, I'm good.
All right, let's go to the others.
At this same time, Boros would be getting to Mercedes' room after picking up the letter from Arthrid.
I will go up to the door and I will...
Put on her hat, take shrooms, and kind of, tuck it under my arm and rub my eye when it comes to the door. Oh, hey.
Hi, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just really needed to sleep it off. You good?
I think so.
Where's everybody else?
They're downstairs. Jin's still sleeping, but Juliet's gonna go get him. Hey, yeah, let's go downstairs. Just
okay.
when you're ready, I'll be out here.
I'll fetch my things later. I don't think I need my bag and my staff while I go get breakfast. We can go. I'll carry shrooms gently.
At this point also, Juliet arrives at Jin's room.
Juliet will knock on the door a lot less hesitantly.
Nearly bust down the door.
It's very on brand.
I just forget how strong I am sometimes.
It's like 15 seconds. You hear some rustling. And then I open the door. Ooh. Oh, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Is it?
Is it?
Beginning to turn afternoon.
Are you good for running errands?
Sure. What do you have in mind?
I know everyone else really wants to head out and deal with those goblins, but I was hoping we could get a few words in with Erica before we left, or at least find out where Erica's going to be in a couple days if they're going to ship her out to Waterdeep.
Alright, give me a second. I walk in and put back on my sleeveless shirt, put on my shin guards, and tie back my hair, close the door, lock it. On our way.
Head outside and begin walking across the open area. Given time frame, let me have Boros and a Mercedes roll a perception check for me. So, Mercedes, you catch a glimpse out the window of the way in as you and Boros head back down to the main inn area. You do see Juliet and Jen outside heading towards the guard shack.
I guess she's gonna take care of that. That's nice.
Do I make you uncomfortable?
Really uncomfortable. I'm getting used to you, much like I'm getting used to everybody. Although, to be fair, I did see you bite the neck out of a person once. And I mean, it was a very jarring first introduction. Still getting used to the process, I suppose.
You and me both.
I would have thought you were already doing stuff like this. Kind of like Juliet and Jen. Kai, too. They seem like they've been doing this for a while.
I have not. I really only started like a month ago at most since I left home.
Meanwhile, as this conversation goes with Boros and Mercedes, Orsik and Kai retrieve their merchandise. Juliet and Jen, you arrive at the guard shack. Quite full in there, as there are many guards who aren't out on their normal patrols given the snow, as many seem to be talking and writing notes about the day's recent events. And as you head in, Rusorth is at her desk right up front, just inside the door, and kind of stands up and straightens her vest and armor. Welcome. I hope you got good sleep. Normally we would transfer today and immediately, but we wanted to give you a chance. We'll most likely be taking them up to Waterdeep and let some higher powers decide what should be done with them and where they should be taken, most likely to a unknown location for further questioning.
Well, that's ominous.
We've had multiple guards on them all night, regularly checking in to make sure what happened last time didn't.
Was there anything out of the ordinary around these cells last night?
No, both prisoners stayed surprisingly quiet. Both just been sitting down in their cells.
Juliet, are you ready?
As ready as I think we're gonna be.
He gives a quiet little whistle as the 4 guards standing in that hallway watching the cells all turn and walk out. We'll leave you to it. As she backs out and closes the door, and it is just you two in a hallway of 4 cells in total, 2 of which are occupied by Eris and Francis. As you walk up to the cell that Eris is in, peacefully and content, just sitting on the cold stone ground, almost seemingly maybe meditating or some sort, just head down.
Look through the window and say, tables have turned. Seems your leader chose poorly to bring you here.
Up as her eyes open and you see this kind of calmness across her face. What our leader does is no concern of yours.
The way you organized this whole thing, I thought you were the leader. I bet you would have prevented the cave and the weigh-in agent from being discovered.
I doubt anyone could have prevented what happened except those individuals within the cave. And for our so-called agent here, well, what one does in their personal time, that's up to them.
It's weird that you would align yourself with the Mind Flayers and Niyagi, though. I thought the Drow were superior to them. At least the Niyagi.
Our leader's choices are not to question. We simply follow instructions, as a good soldier does. You've only just begun to scratch the surface of what you've gotten yourselves into. You finding this cave, this base here, neither of those are any consequence to us. Our plans will continue on schedule. You're no threat.
And yet here you are, torturing simple common folk. Siegfried is just a normal farmer. Seems pretty low to torture common folk like that, even for you.
You still call him Siegfried by his stolen name. You know nothing about the people you travel with. I know much more about that individual who went by Siegfried for so long and pulled the wool over your eyes. Boros, as his given name is, much more than you could ever understand.
And yet you interrogated him for knowledge he doesn't know.
Well, he knows much more than he gives on. There's so much buried in his mind that was implanted within him than you could ever know. His stumbling upon our cave was never an accident, his meddling in our affairs. You're but pawns in this game, he's so much more.
I look at Juliet and nod.
Why were you in the way in?
This was simply a base that you could access from many separate places. This was a good point along the road. The inn means nothing to us.
Why did you go to the cave in Bowshot?
You say we as if I was aligned with those creatures in there. We may work for the same employer, we may have the same common goal, but I don't align with them in any way. The bases they set up, what they do, it's of no consequence to me.
Who sent you?
Of course you'd like to know, wouldn't you? You're not even close to worthy of speaking my employer's name. I'm never going to tell you.
What is your mission?
My mission? Simply man the base. But it would seem I failed. I don't have a mission anymore. Better yet, maybe you should be asking Boros these questions. Figure out who you've really been working with. He did lie to you about his name, after all. What friend does that?
But did he even know you were after him in the first place?
We went after him until he came onto our radar. Once we were made aware of his presence and who he truly was, then it became beneficial to keep an eye out if we could apprehend him, and sure enough, he put himself into a position to do just that. Beneficial may not be the correct word, but he has the possibility to either be helpful or a nuisance to us, and so we wanted to turn that into our favor as soon as possible. What happened here makes no difference. This base was but a small, tiny, insignificant one. There'll be others. Many, many others. Thousands or even hundreds of thousands of soldiers. You can't even begin to imagine their power. The like of you can do nothing to stop it.
Well, if we cut off those portals to your world, you won't have nothing to bring over.
Portals to our world? You know nothing of how this world works, do you? Not done your research? Not studied up enough, huh? Imagine that portal, when you enter it, opens up to a vast infinity of more directions to go. Tunnels here, tunnels there, caverns to enter through, pathways and walkways and doors, more than you can ever begin to imagine. And those are our portals. They can take us anywhere, but you have to understand them. You have to not crumble and have your mind give way when you see the vast network of their connections that we've built up over time. We've been preparing for this for so long. That's why you can do nothing. Again, I recommend talking to your friend, Boros. See what more he's been hiding from you. Because his employers, well, they're the ones you should be worried about. Our actions are swift, and you won't ever notice what happens when we deploy into the world. His employers, on the other hand, are slow and devastating, and you'll feel them for centuries. So maybe talk to him first.
Can I roll an insight check on her?
Yeah, go ahead.
On this particular thing? Yeah, you know what? She's probably fucking telling the truth. I don't know.
It's a lot of information, and so it's also really hard to read her face. Like, she has been very neutral, calm face this entire time. She stands up and walks right up to the window on the door and presses her face against it.
Can I boop her
Nothing
nose?
you do to me. You can try.
Sorry.
Roll it. Roll it to 20 and add your dexterity for me.
How about a 9?
Well, that's a 7 on her end.
Yeah.
So you boop her nose.
Where as soon as she presents her face there, it's just boop right on the snoot. I don't think that you know the name of the person you work for. You keep insisting that I'm not fit to speak it. I'm pretty sure you just don't know. I also don't believe that you are nearly as important as you think you are, nor do you have anything useful. If I were running some sort of operation, I wouldn't tell an underling like you anything anyway. And Juliet will turn to go.
Follow suit.
We should catch up with everybody else, though. They're probably ready to go. We should maybe return this arrow.
I think that would be best. Since we're out here, I do need to do some shopping before we head out. You can take the arrow. I'm sure that's an easy task to do.
There's no way that I'll mess that up. Alright, well, just hurry back.
Yeah, it won't be long. I already know what I need.
We'll start off with Juliet.
Mhm.
You find your way back into the way in and hear the faint music coming from the midday band up on stage. Find your way up to the second floor to 202.
Knock, knock, knock.
Wait a few seconds. No answer.
I would like to knock again a little harder this time.
No response.
Can I try the doorknob?
It is not locked.
I would like to open the door.
All right. B&E part 2.
I'm not breaking and entering if I don't... I'm not breaking anything. This is just entering.
Just entering.
Right, just E.
Just E. You open the door. Shades seem to be closed on the window that would be leading to the outside, so the room's semi-dark. But you kind of take a peek around. Doesn't seem to be anyone in here.
I would like to call, in God? All well? Anybody home?
No response.
Can I continue the entering portion of the breaking and entering?
Yeah.
Cautiously.
It
I just want to make sure like that the room doesn't look like somebody has been in here or trashed or like they left in a hurry or were kidnapped or anything fun like that.
Doesn't seem to be anything else in here.
I'm gonna head back downstairs and maybe meet up with the rest of the party. I can't return this arrow.
Hi, Juliet. What do you mean you can't return the arrow?
And God and his mom are not there. But can we flag down Mr. Redbeard?
Sure, it would probably take a minute or two for him to come over, but he will acknowledge as you wave him down and be like, "Be there in a second." As he ends up walking over. What can I do for my fine young adventurers today?
Room 202. Did they check out this morning?
Not that I know of, no.
I was trying to return something to her, and she wasn't in her room, and the door was
Them
unlocked.
two, they could have left for a day or two. I don't know.
Interesting. And do you see much of her son, Enengad? He's kind of a strange, depressive teenager.
I see
He's going
even
through a
less
phase.
of him than I do of her. The only time I've seen him is a few times as he's taking his bow and arrow out. I'm gonna guess to target practice or maybe hunt small game. But it's the only times I've seen him.
There are so many mysteries in this inn. Have any other guests gone missing recently?
Any
Just-
guests
just-
gone missing? Not that I know of, no.
Could I leave a note or something for someone to take up if they do order room service again?
Certainly, you can leave it up front with one of my
Sorry.
barkeep constructs, and they'll be happy to take it up with them next time they go.
Thank you. I would much appreciate that.
Of
Oh.
course. Anything to eat as a late brunch, per se?
Could I get a mushroom stew and a piece of bread?
Certainly.
I'll take
Deal
some
break, Kai?
seconds.
Alrighty then. Good day.
Have
He
a pleasant
heads
day,
off.
sir. So, Juliet, what did you learn from our new friend, quote unquote?
I don't think she knows anything.
Well, what did she tell you?
The sort of things you say when you don't know anything and are bluffing. She made a lot of implications about you. She believes that you're working for someone that we should be more concerned about. That you're either going to be incredibly helpful to their cause or incredibly hindering to their cause. They wanted to see where you were at in the whole moral compass thing. I'm paraphrasing. I think she maybe implied that you're evil a few times, but
I had,
like I said,
no.
I don't believe anything that she said. She's obviously full of shit.
You just actively dislike me.
No, I care about you very much. That's why I'm so upset. If I disliked you, I wouldn't care that you had lied to me. It would mean nothing. It's that I thought we were friends, and I stood up for you, and I defended you, and you lied to me. That's a little, it's betraying. It's a little painful. I will get over it, but I am absolutely going to be mean to you about it for at least another day. Maybe 7. Just, we'll play it by ear.
Why do you feel the need to lie about it, though? Are you on the run? Do you not want people to know that you've left?
I'm just trying to keep low, thank you. For my own personal reasons. But I have no idea what she's talking about, me working with for someone.
I believe she called him your employer. Did you
I
have a job before you came here?
I
he
had
was
a
a fool.
job, but it wasn't anything to do with that. It was just working for the local Tanners Guild. That was about it.
Mm.
Nothing
An
else.
evil Tanners Guild? Maybe the Tanners Guild is a front for like assassins or something. But anyway, I don't believe anything that she said. She was stuck at this waypost up here. She described it as a meaningless post that was of no significance to anyone, so it didn't even matter. Which,
person was a
if you're
terrible
someone
liar.
important who knows things, they're not going to stick you at a... I mean, also, she was working with Rebecca. You don't get stuck with Rebecca unless you're just really terrible at your job. What I'm concerned about right now is I'm going to write this letter, and we're going to wait for Jin is shopping. He'll be back and join us in a minute.
Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna go shopping too.
We don't need to
I
know.
Oh, damn.
Juliet, I really need
We're doing insights.
Even Juliet incites your deception. What were you lying about?
Oh,
I
Guy's
doesn't
in
know.
another world.
When he says he's
I
going
wanna do
shopping,
it
he
because
really means
everyone
go
else is
interrogate
doing
Aaronracer.
There it is.
Oh.
Orsik is just gonna silently nod to himself and he says, "Okay, you have fun shopping."
Last time everyone split up, some people went to jail and got kidnapped in jail.
That is
That's true. So which one of you is going with Boros to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid? Since Mercedes and Kai are waiting on mushroom soup, why doesn't
Their soup is there.
their soup is there? Good. Since they're eating mushroom soup, Orsik, why don't you go with Boros? I'm gonna finish my letter and I'll go catch up with Jin, and then no one will be alone.
I am fine with that.
Great.
All right.
Please make
Wait.
sure that he doesn't do anything dumb.
I'm just.
That was
Immersion.
The loud soup eater interrupting the conversation.
Right, then you don't have to ever make that noise again. You could eat with a spoon, like a
It's-
civilized human.
It's
But
fine.
you
I
get
don't.
more with the bowl.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
get more
want-
soup, but you lose more friends.
Meanwhile,
No,
while soup
didn't
eating
mean
is
to.
happening, Jin,
Come on, Boros.
Yeah.
what are you shopping for?
I'm looking for a single blade razor, a small mirror. The aloe is just like a cream that you put on your skin. Lab apron, and a tiny pointy hat.
Are you going to shave? What's the hat for?
I'm-
Everything else makes sense with the
Why is
hat.
it pointy?
The razor, the mirror, and the lab apron can be gotten at West Embassy's Guild. That's the general shop around here. The aloe is there's an herbalist shop. You can get that from. The tiny pointy hats. I'm rolling for tiny pointy hat. Sure, there's a tiny pointy hat.
Everything made sense, but the hat. I'm still curious about the tiny hat.
Yeah, what's
Tiny
the
I'd
hat for
say
his razor.
1.5 gold.
Alright, I'll go get some lunch after I get everything.
Oh, I was just gonna finish my letter. It's gonna say, I found your arrow. We'll return it once we get back from dealing with some goblins. Sorry for the delay, Juliet. And then I want to put it in an envelope and seal that up and give it to the guy at the bar.
Well, I guess what I'm looking for is, and I guess because the list is kind of long and going individually through the field journal to get everything I need would be a little tedious. So I was going to say if you want me to make a roll to see how many things I could find, just to be fair, because I know stocking up medicinal, herbs and things is a little difficult.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, I'd say go ahead
but I'll
and
roll.
roll an investigation check for me. So the way in is a pretty, stocked travel stop, right? Being kind of in the middle of nowhere. So you are able to find from pretty much the one kind of herbalist and botany shop that's there. I'd say you're able to find at least half to maybe 3/4 of the materials you're going to need to make your next batch.
Oh, that's a little frustrating.
In one of the stores, the mini stores we go visit, can Kai try to steal something?
Hell yeah.
Oh, jeez.
What are you looking for?
Seeing how disappointed Mercedes is, I'll find something that I think would help her out.
Nice.
Okay, I need 2 rolls. Roll me a d20,
Okay.
just flat, and
Okay.
then a sleight of hand check. Actually, I need one more check then. If you're looking for something to help her, roll a general intelligence check for me.
Oh no.
Oh no! Anything you get me will be wonderful.
Oh!
That tells me
Damn.
where. Okay. Most of your time is spent in this botanical shop, as Mercedes is going around talking with the half-elven shopkeep for quite a while about different ingredients she needs. A lot of it kind of starts to go over your head, but you can tell there's a lot of ingredients on her list that she's not getting. So you start looking around the shop, and you see kind of off near the doorway, glowing, glittery pink potions sitting on the shelf.
Ooh.
And you look at this potion and you're like, there's a good chance this can help her. It looks like it's got a lot of stuff in it. And so just with a simple, it's yours.
Oh, I'm ready to go if you are.
Okay, let's head out.
Okay.
And while we're walking out away from the shop enough where no one can see, I'm just gonna be like, close your eyes, hands out,
Okay.
plop. She
What?
says,
Where'd you get this?
while you were sleeping.
Okay. And I'm like, ease it in my bag, and I'll be like, I'll check this out later. This looks really nice. Orsik's
Boros
turn.
and Orsik, yes. You
Mhm.
guys make your way to the guard post as Rusorth guides you back to the hallway of cells, and without saying much, as she doesn't seem to know exactly what to say to you, head down, guides you in as she once again whistles for the 4 guards that were within this hallway to come out as she leaves the both of you alone back with the cells. You see her sitting on the ground, legs crossed, seemingly almost meditating with her head down and eyes closed, as she doesn't even look up at you. I was wondering when you'd show up. I had hopes for you, you know? Hope that when I heard about what you are, that you'd embrace it, that you'd understand it, that you could be of use to us and turn to our side, but it's a shame. It's a shame you don't even recognize what you have, Mr. Linhart. What's inside of you. It's almost who you are now. It's so much a part of you as you are a part of it.
What is it? What are you talking about?
She stands up and walks up to the bars just a few inches back. I need you to make a wisdom save for me. Can't help but to keep your eyes locked with hers, these kind of voids that they begin turning into. It almost looks like a black liquid swirling around and around before something off to the side kind of breaks your vision for a second, and you notice this long black snake writhing around her neck. But you don't feel an impulse to hurt her.
Now, Oris couldn't see this snake, right?
Make a wisdom save also, Orsk. Ever so slightly. You kind of have to do a double take. But then you do notice this kind of long black snake just going in circles around Eris's neck.
Oris is going to slide his hand over to like the grip of a dagger, but he doesn't pull it out. And he's just going to continue to watch.
What you have inside of you has so much potential to be good, be bad, whatever you want it to be. It's your future, it's your past. It is you. You were created for one reason, Boros. It was to kill. And you're so good at it. She brushes the snake off and it disappears. If only you could harness it and begin to comprehend and accept what you have. But you don't. You block out its connection with you. What they did to you.
What they did to me? Who do you mean they?
Your parents, your adoptive parents took you away from it. There was a chance, but a brief moment, for us to intercede and take you instead of your adoptive parents. As they shielded you away from it, made you block it out and forget about it. We could have had that.
They always told me they just found me on the side of the road.
Always trying to hide you from the perceived danger. They never understood what you could have been. We and many others did, though.
Then what am I?
A weapon. You left it unchecked for so many years. Untrained, it's faded away. You're but a mere fraction of what you used to be, what you could have been.
I don't see any reason to give in to it, so why now?
We're starting a war. Of course we want you now. Whoever has you can turn the tides of this war. She looks back at Orsk. He'll turn at any point, you know. Slit your throat and eat your body without even a second thought.
I'll give him the chance to prove that he's not going to turn into whatever you think he is.
Our plans were never to have him on our side. Our plans were to fight him and those like him. We'll win.
There's more like me out there.
You've just begun to scratch the surface. May not have agreed with what your creators were going for. But we would have whisked you away at the first opportunity. Let them do the hard work and create you. Then you would have been ours. This dark purple and black energy comes around her arms and up her neck and begins to envelop her before it completely covers her, and it looks almost just like a black hole before she disappears and her clothes lie on the ground in the cell.
How far away is Usorth?
Roostorth, when you open the doors, she'd just be like 10 feet away outside.
Orsk will, say, hey, and then kind of like, wave her over.
And she'll come over. Yes, what's the problem?
Your prisoner disappeared.
What? And begins unlocking it, and as the door opens and she runs up and kind of moves around the clothing that's been left on the floor, you're both now able to see what appears to be like blackened, burned ashes that were under the clothing. Francis seems to have suffered the same fate, with just a pile of clothing and ashes left in the middle of the cell.
I am definitely gonna grab the ash.
It
Trust
just
me,
keeps getting crazier and crazier.
I'm as confused as you are. Out of curiosity, how much authority does your word carry from out here?
It depends on who it's with and who it gets passed on to. Well known with many different guard outposts and municipalities along the tradeway.
Do you have a personal insignia? Something that we could use to, show on printed parchment?
I have the official weigh-in seal, and I can sign it. As she heads out to the main room, can I take a break there?
Go. We should ask for horses. Because it doesn't take that long, like with the group, if I remember correctly. It's like a half a day.
Mm-hmm.
But if we do a horse, it could probably be less.
Boros and Orsk head out to get some fresh air after their only 2 leads into what's been going on seems to have disintegrated in front of their very eyes. It's probably getting up to like 3/4 to a foot of snow at this point.
Almost 1/5 of Orc's height. Gotcha. Listen, I see you for what you are, and that is all that I really want to know. Whatever you have going on, those are the demons that you need to battle with, but that does not mean that me or the others will leave your side to defend yourself alone against them.
I appreciate that.
And whenever you feel comfortable enough to open up about these things once you find out, I'm sure that we will be very accepting of whatever it may be. Even if it is something that could, from what we both heard, can destroy the world, more or less. That may be a bit exaggerated, but in the end, would it really matter? After all, it is your choice to bring about this power within you. It is your choice to bend to the whim and knee of whatever this snake thing is. And yes, I did catch a glimpse of it. But let's not dolly on this. Let's go back inside the inn. We better not keep them waiting.
No, we shouldn't. Boy, it's cold out here.
As you both head back into the weigh-in, The other four, you guys are sitting at a table chit-chatting. You're kind of having to yell at each other at this point. Until finally Daruvian walks up to the curtain that covers the stage and puts the band into silhouettes. It's like, you're way too loud. Hush, 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 hush. And they kind of quiet and calm down a little bit, and everyone's able to talk in a more normal voice again.
Hello, everyone.
How was shopping?
Not exactly great. Eris is probably dead. Yeah, she might be dusted. Literally. I did have some dust, yeah.
Wait, you grabbed the dust?
No, I don't actually.
Oh.
I would have put it in a glass vial.
Do we really need that? Do we really want to keep the dust of a nemesis?
I wanted to hand
Yes.
it to Mercedes so she can tell me what caused this to happen. But yeah, I had some words with her. Some
Did
very
you
tense
learn
words.
anything useful? Or did you get yourself all twisted up in knots?
Funny.
I wasn't joking.
You made a snake pun, yet I assumed you were
Oh, was it a snake pun?
twisted in knots.
Wait, you're a snake person?
Oh.
Finally comes to.
Yeah, Juliet's fucking dead serious.
day
She had no idea that you were a snake person. Absolutely could not tell until this moment.
This was a war between another faction, apparently. There's more things out there that are like me. She made it clear that I was made for this kind of thing. Made to hurt people, made to be a weapon, but I refuse to believe it.
You think you were rescued from a creepy cult?
It's starting to seem like that.
You never
That's-
thought to ask your parents?
I have. And that's the story they told me once they found me on the side of the road.
Don't you think at some point after we finish in Fandelver, we should probably go back to where you live?
I was going to send her a letter anyway. Don't think I would be welcome back home, thank you.
What'd you do?
Nothing you need to
Murdered
know.
his father and stole his name.
No,
already
I
talked
did not. I would have grappled Juliet after she said that.
Whoa!
You can try.
My God.
Contested grapple check.
Oh,
The broccoli's on the floor.
yeah.
The broccoli's definitely on the floor. When he grapples Juliet, she'll just push him down into the table and flip the broccoli.
Oh no, no one can eat the broccoli anymore.
No one can eat the broccoli.
This is
Sorry,
heresy.
Jen.
Boros, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me. So
Oh.
as you leap out to attempt to grapple Juliet, the vial of Eris's ashes that you had unfortunately slides out, and you are not able to grab it fast enough as it shatters on the floor.
Oh no!
Can one of before it shatters, can one of us try to grab it?
I will
Oh.
say I will allow two of you to try, whoever would have been sitting near him.
Okay,
We'll be
I wanna-
sitting
I
near
wanna
him.
try to-
This
Yes, I
will
wanna
be
try
a
to grab
higher
it.
DC, though.
oh my god,
Orsk
what do we
is
have to
one,
roll?
and there's one more.
Oh
Enough.
Son of a
Not
bitch!
enough. Boros just immediately charging Juliet, attempting to grapple her down. Unfortunately, you see a little too late this vial slip out and shatter on the ground. I need the party to roll perception checks for me.
Oh my
I would
god.
love to.
no! Oh, we're gonna get in trouble. We just got our names cleared, you guys.
Someone get a good roll,
Nope.
please.
I just wanted
I'm
lunch.
staring at Juliet.
Are you
right
sure
now,
a 10's
just
a
angry
10's
as hell.
really good for
You just
me?
want to be 7.
It makes sense.
Oh, this
Oh.
is good.
Hey!
Mercedes, come on.
Jenna's
Alright,
still
so
thinking
we've
about
got
his
His
Mercedes, Kai, and Orsk. As this is going on, you three notice kind of running up from the corner of the room is this very unkept human male, probably on the older side. He has very long and curled gray hair that's just very messy. Very kind of rough and scratched up skin as he approaches and actually scratching on both sides, and just approaches you with this very I mean, the best I can say is just scattered face that he doesn't appear to really be fully with it, and just runs up to the table and is just like, "You guys got any that bone dust? We're willing to pay top dollar for that." For that bone dust.
Now, when you say top dollar, how much are we talking about here?
For a handful? Maybe like 20 gold?
You stare at the man intently. Not for sale. Leave now. I'd like to intimidate him.
Roll an intimidation check.
Right, when
Okay,
Orsik
that's
smells a sale, right, he jumps on that.
Standing there, just scratching his arms, and they're starting to bleed as he kind of like looks away from Boros back to Orsik. I can do 5 gold right now, and then I have a job in the morning. Should get some gold from the job.
Good enough. That's
and
not good enough.
I can pay you back.
Turn in your pockets inside out. Let's see what you have.
Roll another persuasion check.
Is the dust mixed with the
The thing is,
broccoli,
it's so
or that's in
confusing,
2
like,
different
don't sell
areas?
them, drop them.
The
It
dust
sure
just
is.
kind of
Oh,
on
no.
its own.
Alright, I'm
On
gonna
its
start
own.
picking up the food from the floor. I would have eaten everything by now. It would have been some broccoli left.
He pulls out a small coin purse and kind of like shows it to you. It has a few coins inside, nothing crazy. I don't have anything else. I
In that
gave
case,
everything back in water deep to the loan shark.
if you
He took-
cannot
he
pay,
took
then you
everything.
must go away.
And he just kind of like hunches away and walks out the door, just kind of like murmuring to himself, shaking like head to toe, just clearly going through with like insane withdrawals of some sort.
Orsik is going to turn to Boros and Juliet. Okay, so are you two good now? There won't be any more lunging at each other, right? Your silence is not.
Start it.
I take my empty cup from the table and I just say, just use this until we get back to the room, and then we'll grab a vial for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That.
Also, it troubles me that we're not getting along like we used to. So I propose that we go and distract ourselves by going to deal with those goblins, huh?
I agree.
That
a
sounds
good
like a
idea.
lovely idea.
Point of order: who is cleaning up the dust and putting it in the cup?
And then puts it in the cup.
I'm gonna take one of the napkins from the table and give it to whoever is gonna clean it up and say, put this over your hand.
Yeah, that's my plan. Guy, could you please do something for me?
Depends what it is.
Just need you to send someone a message.
Okay.
Could you tell Juliet and me are not on speaking terms for the foreseeable future?
Mm.
Can you?
We
hey,
went
hey,
there.
Kai, can you
audacity.
tell?
Mhm.
Can you tell Boros that if he can stop being a little bitch, then we can talk again?
Mm.
Orsik audibly gasped right at both of them.
Me too. I'm like, that's not nice. You guys shouldn't say those things about each other. We're all friends.
He started it.
This is exactly why we need a goblin killing exercise to bond us again.
Oh, I started it.
We are absolutely not killing any goblins.
We're gonna be late to math class.
Goblins are people too.
You're the one that insinuated.
I would like to think Jin actually said that.
No.
You know what?
Uh,
I have to explain this. I'm out of here.
Oh
So just
no.
storm out of the room, just not wanting to interact with Juliet more than I have to right now.
We'll meet up in 10. I feel like goblins is a good idea. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna follow Boros.
Before we head out to the goblins, we should inform Burnon that we're gonna be like 2 days to prepare.
Yes, let's go. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I didn't think we were all gonna start fighting.
I know, I'm not even gonna get to drink my beer.
You didn't get to go.
I yell for the beer to go, please.
One of the con trucks just begins like running after you with the beer and is like, "You'll
Thank
be
you,
a
my
sec."
good man. Thank you.
And then like runs back to the main tavern area. Group of 4 heading up to room.
I'm sure it's not 126.
Oh, please don't start this again.
Knock, knock, knock.
You do see the same kind of older human male with his straight auburn hair open up the door. Oh, hello. Good to see you again. I'm assuming these are some of your companions.
Hello. Orsk has a slight film of beer throff on his mustache.
Jin nods.
We just wanted to come let you know that we're still active. It's just we gotta take care of a few things and then we can go.
Okay, sounds good. Orsk, are you still wearing the overalls?
You know what? I like to think not at this point, right? I like to think that he at some point like changed, right?
Good to know. We're not on too much of a rush. Seems we've had a theft from one of our cots, and we're waiting for the guards to investigate.
Thank God I said what I said! Holy shit!
It's unfortunate. They were some custom-made protective clothing for some of the miners and builders up there, with certain patterns from their loved ones back home that had been inscribed on them. So
Oh God.
You did a nod.
Is that so? Well,
I need you to roll a deception check now that you said something. Noted. It's quite a wonder who would go as far as to steal custom-made and fitted overalls and protective clothing.
but the worldly of loved ones, yes, must be some sort of monster.
Must be, yes. Good luck, and we'll be here whenever you're ready to set off on our journey. And he kind of just looks Orsk up and down one more time before closing the door.
Once we're like back into the lobby, put two and two together, I'll tell him, while we leave for the goblins, let's put those overalls back into the cart.
I agree with you, but there is one stipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Kai gave them to me as a gift. I cannot just simply return a gift.
You absolutely can.
You
if
absolutely
it's a
can.
stolen gift.
It's going to break Kai's heart. I'll have to let her down gently.
I'm sure the gold we get will make up for it.
I'm off to break Kai's heart, everybody. I'll let you know how it goes.
Don't do that.
Meanwhile, Boros has stormed away, and Kai, you are in hot pursuit.
I wouldn't go very far. I would just put my arms and my head against the wall and just lean up against it, just steaming. How dare she? Does she have any idea how much he mattered to me? To even suggest that I would have hurt him.
You know what? I have a gift for you. Come over here. I'm gonna just sit on the floor, and I'm gonna pat the floor. Sit.
Just go to sit down.
Okay. I remember you saying you have a pet snake. Describe her for me.
Well, she's a boa from
Mhm.
Schultz. She's been with my family for a very long time. About 6 feet long.
While Boros is describing his pet, Kai is gonna use minor illusion to
Ooh.
replicate that image.
That definitely looks like her. Close enough, at least.
What are some of her quirks?
Every time I come to her enclosure, she always boots my hand whenever I reach down in order to either pet her or feed her. It's not Sindri, but she's close enough, I suppose.
Awkwardly pats your shoulders and just looks at you like,
I appreciate what you do. Find it comforting, at least. You try your best, and that's all I can ask for. I just wish Juliet could take a moment to think about what she says. Because those words hurt more than any knife or blade that Eris used on me yesterday.
Okay, let's go.
And as you kind of walk back into the main tavern, seems like pretty much everyone that you can see just goes back to minding their own business. The other four have also returned.
Listen, Kai, they want me to give up the overalls.
Kai's gonna stare at you, right, for a second. You don't give away gifts.
I know, And that's the conundrum.
Those overalls belong to the people we're escorting. If they find out that they were stolen, we might not get money at all.
We really need that money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oreo could just stop stealing.
Secretly put the second overalls in Orsik's, so he has both of them, but he doesn't know.
Going to go up to the rafters, find the man's room, and just like drop him in there on the floor.
Orsik, need you
Yeah.
make a stealth check. All right, make an acrobatics check for moving throughout the rafters. Head to a familiar spot that you're quite easily able to straight up in the rafters and crawl above the merchant's room and silently just drop them down. Both
Yeah, but-
pairs?
No, just the one, right? I see the second pair, and I'm gonna be a little bit confused, but then I realize, Kai, you sly fox. And he's going to not give away the second one, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, Orsik is gonna walk past Boros and Juliet. I put away the overalls, and then he's going to give Kai a slight wink, right?
Juliet will go follow the rest out.
I'll attempt to get in front of her so I don't have to look at her.
Oh my gosh, y'all are really gonna be that petty?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Jen, I'm glad that you and I are some of the more level-headed people here.
You begin heading out the main gate of the way in and southbound along the tradeway. Knowing that at this point, especially with the about foot of snow on the ground, your journey may take upwards of a day to get there. We're going to end there for tonight.
Aww.
Hey, but we're finally getting out of the way in for a change.
Yay.
I really hope that Boros and Juliet make up and be friends
I
again.
know, I love the
Yeah.
drama.
She did not realize it, but she pushed the exact button that would make Boros personally angry.
See, I'm just shocked that Kai's a criminal mastermind and no one else knows about it.
Hello.
I think we established that Boros has very poor control of his emotions in general. Not to mention everything that happened with Eris earlier.
My
However,
favorite thing is like when I think you three, Juliet, Boros, and Mercedes, were having kind of like almost a serious conversation. Jin, Kai, and Orsik was having a broccoli fight.
I know.
No,
Great.
in the background.
I was having
Yeah.
fun of